angels. He says, I am become as sounding brass, tingling cymbal. And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and I have all faith that I can remove mountains and have not love, he said, it profits me nothing. So I bestow all I can to the poor and give my body to be burned and have not love. I'm nothing.
Yes.
He goes on in 1 Corinthians to describe what love is.
That's right.
And love is the only thing that can bind a people together.
That's the only thing.
Especially Jew and Gentile.
Yes.
Black and white.
Yes.
Mother Johnson, there's some controversy that disturbed me while I was watching the news. They were talking about they should be making a restitution, and I've been telling people this for years. That they should make some restitution to the black, to the Negro, for the way that they were treated during the time of slavery, and all they gave them was 40 acres and a mule. That was the restoration. And right now, what I talked about years ago have come up in Congress now.
There it is. Speak the truth.
Some think that they should, some think that they shouldn't.
Well,
but I don't understand why Congress cannot get together and come up with a solution. Why? Because they are not in unity.
Amen.
They divided.
That's it.
And the Bible talks about a house divided against itself. We understand. Black people that still live in the South, they still suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder, just like soldiers that come back from war. You ever know some people that grew up in the South and they older age now, and you go to visit them in the South, they be like, oh no, you can't say that to so-and-so, you better be quiet. Post-traumatic stress disorder because of the way they were done, the churches that was bombed, the lives that was lost.
That's right.
What could break down that segregation? Love.
That's it.
That's what Martin Luther King taught, isn't it? Non-violent movement. We have to make sure whenever someone is offended, we let love break down the wall of offense.
All right.
It's the only way that they can get over it. It's by love. And some people don't realize that that's what this particular chapter in book is dealing with. It's dealing with the fact that you have to love enough to keep the division down. You have to keep if you don't want to be divided. You have to make sure that you have enough love.
Amen.
And that's what Paul had for this church. And I was just looking at this lesson when I looked at the lesson and looked at basically some of the people, places, and times in the lesson. I'm always telling you that you need to understand the culture, you need to understand the language, and you need to understand the time that the lessons was written. And we can see, and this was probably around 60 or 70 A.D. That means that A.D. Anno Domino. That means some people after the death of Christ. So this took place 70 years after the death of Christ. If it was B.C., it would be before Christ. If it was B.C., it would be before BCE, it would be before Common Era. Okay? But right now we're talking about after Christ died for about 70 years, and after 70 years, remember, the temple of Jerusalem had been destroyed again. So people were struggling through persecution and holding on to their faith. They were looking for some other method of salvation. They didn't think Jesus was not good enough. Because you had other philosophers and false teachers around teaching that Jesus Christ did not become a man. The resurrection didn't ever take place. It was just a figment of your imagination. That's Doceism. They don't believe that he was actually here as a man. I mean, that was some of the teachings that was going on then, the false teachings. Because they didn't believe, they believed that the body and the soul was different. You could separate the body and the soul. You could do what you wanted to with the body as long as you wouldn't worship with the soul. Because they believed that all matter was evil. Anything that's made from matter, they believed it to be evil. That's why they didn't believe that God could incarnate himself in human flesh, because they believed that the human flesh was evil and God wouldn't have came in evil human flesh. Kind of remind me of some of our beliefs today.
That's it.
The body and the soul is separate. Because as long as I go to church and worship with my soul and spirit, I'm fine and I can do what I want to with this body. I can take it where I want to go, then it act the way it want to act. Because the body and the soul have nothing to do with one another. As long as I go to church, I'm fine. Kind of the belief today, Smith Johnson, when you look at the churches today. People believe that you can go out and do what you want to with the body as long as you go to church on Sunday. But that's a fable. I mean that's untrue. But that's what their knowledge was telling them. And you know, Gnostics thought that they had all of the knowledge.
Yes, they did.
Because that's what that was taken from knowledge. So they thought they knew all the ins and outs and all the loops. But they were teaching a false gospel.
Yes, they were.
They were teaching a partial truth.
Partial.
Paul didn't want this church at Colossae who was doing so good, who had been so faithful. Paul did not want them to fall for just anything.